Hey guys, Pat Dibley here with Matt Luxton, and we've been talking about basically the power of your thoughts and the power that thoughts can have on your fitness, your health, your overall feelings of well-being, and yeah, basically how some people become prisoners of their own thoughts and how it holds them back, and how you can avoid that, and how you can really push yourself forward by thinking the right things. So, thoughts on that, Matt?
Yeah, I think one of the major things, like, because obviously you can get the nutrition nailed, you can get your exercise nailed, but if you don't believe that you can actually achieve what it is you want to achieve, I think you're always going to have this sort of self-doubt in your mind. And I think there is a book called The Prisoner of Your Own Thoughts, and I think that really that just that title kind of sums up really what we're talking about. So we sort of like almost become self-limited by the fact that we only really think in a certain area, which is why it's great coming out here with people like yourself, and we sort of talk to each other about the things that we do, and how it just opens up your mindset. And I think that's the same for people who do fitness and how, who want to get healthy. Like, unfortunately, we're only exposed to a certain amount of kind of social media and all that kind of stuff. But really, there's an enormous opportunity out there, and I think it just requires a bit of open-mindedness and a kind of like an approach that, sure, once you've found what you want, then stick with that person. Like, stick with somebody who you trust, and someone that you actually like them. All right, and then once you've got that, so like the people who work with you, rather than them kind of like reading. There's no need for them to read the magazines and all that kind of stuff because you're going to be telling them stuff that's way better. Um, I think like in terms of like sort of your mindset, like we often we talk to ourselves more often than we talk to anybody else. So talking, I wouldn't talk to you negatively about stuff like that. Like, but I might even have a little bit of self doubt myself. But I think what we want to try and do is try and help people to kind of understand that you do talk to yourself more than you talk to anybody else, and you shouldn't be ingraining negative thoughts. We tend to dwell on threats and negativity rather than sort of encouraging positivity. So, like, when something good happens, we often brush it under the carpet and we get on with our
Yeah.
stuff. But when something negative happens, we tend to dwell on it, and I think that's when we come back to health and fitness, that kind of relates to it. So, all right, so we didn't quite stick to the nutrition plan 100% in week one, and but not all is lost.
Mm.
All right, so that's just week. All right, so you didn't make the perfect start. But I think one of the things we need to try and do is encourage people to just strive for excellence.
Yeah.
All right, so perfection is kind of something that's not really, it's not really there. It's just a state that we don't really know. Excellence is something that can be achieved every day, and we move forward and we try to be better each day. So I think really just getting the mindset of like just trying to be better each day, not ingraining negative thoughts, and certainly not going through this negative self-talk pattern that you seem to see.
I think the questions you're asking yourself, and I always tell new clients that the questions you ask in your own mind, if I'm looking to lose weight and I keep asking myself, why am I so fat? Your subconscious gives you answers to that because it's a smart mechanism. It gives you 100 reasons why you're so fat.
Mm.
Whereas if I say, what can I do to pull myself forward? The same way, I'm going to get 100 answers to that. So
Yeah.
it's about asking yourself the right questions, and yeah, like you say, positive thoughts, positive questions, positive action that's going to move you forward.
Yeah, and I think it's not about being like a happy clappy kind of person, ooh, hey, that kind of like, getting all excited about random stuff. But at the same time, like I think like one of the things that's really helpful is like kind of like just kind of imagining what you're gonna feel like, when you wear that dress size that's 3 times smaller than it was. Like, I had clients this week, one lady just put up that she's four dress sizes smaller. You know, that kind of imagining that kind of feeling. Sure, you may never have been there before, but at the same time,
You're
like,
not going to get there unless you start thinking that way, are you?
exactly. So I think that really sort of that's a nice little mindset thing really to
Yeah.
help people with just trying to get into the habit really of negative things will happen. The sky's not always blue. We won't always have a great day, but at the same time, if we can just spend more time thinking about the positive things, I think you'll foster better habits.
Yeah. Louise Hay has a book called You Can Heal Your Life, and she talks about the ideas in your head and the questions you ask yourself and everything else. It's kind of like planting seeds. So if you're planting negativity, it's going to manifest and it's going to grow. Whereas if you're planting the opposite, positivity, same way. It sounds a bit airy fairy, but very much what goes on in your head controls what happens in your life.
Yeah, cool.